CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. Several streets in the Manchester industrial area remain blocked off by police. Officers have been at the scene for over 24 hours because of a hazardous materials incident. It started with a business delivery, which raised some red flags for employees. They called 911 around noon on Tuesday. Emergency crews have blocked off a 200-meter radius along McLeod Trail. Police haven't said what's inside the containers that were left outside a strip mall. Controlled detonations are taking place this afternoon, and officers are asking people to stay away because there will be loud bangs, fire, and bursts of smoke. A no drone zone has also been declared. One person who works nearby says she's waiting for answers.
I mean, it was quite concerning. We didn't really know exactly what it was, but to think that if that's true, that it was dropped off at the wrong address and it's been there for a week, going to work as normal, and potentially they're taking it quite seriously. So if anything had happened, it would have been quite scary.
Police say this incident is not being treated as a threat or criminal investigation. A fiery explosion in the northeast community of Falcon Ridge left a townhome completely gutted. Just moments before that explosion, the police officer in the video had been telling people to get back. Firefighters were called to the scene on Falcon Ridge Crescent just after 5 p.m. on Tuesday. It's believed the explosion and fire started on the deck. 3 adults in the home, 2 men and a woman with limited mobility, managed to escape the fast-moving fire unharmed.
Their mom, they just got her pulled out just before the explosion. So it was the explosion was really scary.
So I grabbed the fire extinguisher, 2 of them actually, and I go across the road, and I don't know, I just tried to put it out.
These units are vinyl siding, so when it starts on the exterior, it moves up vinyl siding quite rapidly.
The investigation into the cause of the fire continues. Police say impaired driving is being investigated as a potential factor in a northeast crash this morning. Investigators say 5 people were injured in the collision at 68th Street and McKnight Boulevard. It happened around 1:30 this morning. Drivers of both the vehicles were taken to hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries. Police suspect the 18-year-old driver was impaired. Investigators would like to speak to anyone with dash cam footage from the area. A former Calgary MLA says his family is heartbroken over the death of their son, who was killed in a motorcycle crash. A memorial is growing at the intersection near Sate, where Arjun Singh Gill was involved in a crash late Sunday night. Police say the 20-year-old was speeding and failed to stop at a red light when he hit an SUV. Friends have been stopping by to honor Gill, many in tears and in disbelief. They say Arjun was very loved and always offered to help a friend in need.
He was so loved by so many people, and it's just, it doesn't feel real that he's gone, and 20 is a really young age.
He was there for us, like, no matter what, even if he wasn't doing good himself, like, he'd always, like, look out for his friends.
Arjun is the eldest son of former UCP MLA Prab Gill. A celebration of life will be held on August 31st. A 12-year-old boy is in hospital after he was electrocuted by a downed power line in a rural area southwest of Edmonton. A Stars Air ambulance with the boy on board landed at the University of Alberta Hospital Tuesday afternoon. Alberta Health Services says he was in critical condition when he arrived. According to the RCMP, the electrocution happened near the village of Warburg just before 3. Fortis Alberta says it's working with police to investigate what happened. The City of Calgary has put out the call for election workers. The portal is open today for people who want to work on this fall's municipal election. This year, the city will need 4,500 workers. That's more than the 3,600 it needed in 2021. Calgary and other cities and towns in Alberta are going to hand counting ballots after the province banned the use of electronic tabulating machines. Election workers must be eligible to work in Canada, at least 16 years old, available for a training session in September or October, and available to work advanced polls on October 6th to the 11th and on Election Day itself, October 20th. The Premier is getting an earful as the Alberta Next panel tours the province. Last night, Danielle Smith and the panel members met an audience in Fort McMurray. They're traveling across Alberta, talking about a series of proposals meant to address separatist sentiment. Last night, many comments focused on the UCP proposal to leave the Canada Pension Plan.
Poll after poll has shown that the vast majority of Albertans support the Canadian Pension Plan and want to stay in the plan. Why does your government continue to go against the clear wishes of Albertans and pursue a pension plan that we don't want?
The more I read and the more I dig into the truth of the Canada Pension Plan, I would just encourage everybody to do that. It's pathetic and it's gross mismanagement.
Tonight, the panel is in Lloydminster. Next month, it visits Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, Airdrie, and Grande Prairie before wrapping up September 29th in Calgary. A new survey shows more than half of Canadians who own homes in the U.S. are planning to sell them. The report by Royal LePage found 54% of Canadians are planning to sell their American homes in the next year, mostly due to the current political administration south of the border. The survey of 2,500 Canadians found just 3% either owned or recently sold property in the U.S. Of those who had sold their property over the past year, more than 40% sold due to the Trump administration. The lead singer for the rock band Kiss has a new custom table built by a Calgary woodworking company. Paul Stanley took delivery of his massive 15.5 by 5 foot table last month. The rock star commissioned Calgary's Black Forest Wood Company more than a year ago. The walnut burl and resin piece weighs nearly 1,000 pounds and took about 300 hours to complete. The company says Stanley was very hands-on during the design process and was amazed with the finished product.
It was an amazing feeling because I was pretty confident he was going to be happy with it, but I really truly didn't expect him to basically put on a show for us and really just show his admiration for the piece.
The crew also surprised the Kiss frontman with a custom-made guitar made out of maple burl. I'm sure he'll make good use of that. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.